Welcome to Pour the Wine. It's Rom-Com Time, where we'll sip some wine and review all things rom-com on the Hallmark Channel. I'm Amy.
And I'm Gary.
And what are you going to be doing?
Gary's going to be pouring the wine.
Gary's going to be pouring the wine. Another cab, bring it on.
Yes,
it's a rainy day here today. Whew, get some rain. Our little puppy was scared today because of all the storms. So we need to talk about something fun because she was pretty terrified.
Yes, she was. She was afraid.
We would love it if you would click that follow button on your favorite podcast platform so you don't miss an episode. If you listen on Apple or Spotify, you can leave us a review, and hopefully it's a positive review.
Positive.
Okay.
You can also find us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, X, Threads, and now,
what?
YouTube.
Oh, and YouTube. That's right. That's right. But audio only.
No
only. Videos.
No video yet.
You're right. Audio only. All the podcasts are available on YouTube.
There you go.
Pour the Wine is Rom-Com Time.
That's right.
Right?
Pour the Wine is Rom-Com Time.
You can also drop us a line at pourthewine@gmail.com and let us know your thoughts about the Passport to Love movies, the upcoming Christmas in July schedule, or anything, really.
Yes.
We'd love to hear from you.
Yes, drop us an email.
And we might even read it or comment back.
Yeah, that's right.
We'll send you something
We
back.
would love to.
We'd love to chat on socials, via email. You let us know.
Okay.
What are we doing today?
So today we're reviewing the final Passport to Love movie of 2025, A Machu Picchu Proposal, that aired on the Hallmark Channel on Saturday, June 28th, 2025.
Oh, can you believe it's end of June already?
I know.
Good gracious.
That's crazy. Well, if you missed it, you can catch it streaming now on Hallmark Plus.
Yes, you can.
Tell us, who's in this one?
A Machu Picchu Proposal stars Rhiannon Fish. She plays Katie.
Yes.
For Hallmark, she's been in 3 of the Signed, Sealed, Deliver movies, The Vows We Made, A Tale of 3 Letters, and To the Moon and Back.
Ooh, SSD.
She was in the popular movie Polar Opposites in 2025, A Costa Rican Wedding in 2024, My Norwegian Holiday, When Love Springs, and A Picture of Her in 2023. She's been busy.
Yes, she has
she's been in one of our favorites that we think is just super cute, You Baking Me Crazy.
You are baking me crazy.
That is from 2020. Some of her other work includes He Loves Me Not in 2024, Sweet as Pie in 2022, and Home and Away, which is an Australian soap opera. She was in 325 episodes from 2010 to 2013.
Yes.
Yes. Australian, that one, huh?
Woo.
Alec Santos plays Carlos. According to K.L. Connie Wang's article in Parade, he speaks 3 languages, and he has a degree in biochemistry.
Wow.
That's a smart tart right there.
Yes.
That's a super smart tart.
Yes.
His Hallmark work includes all 4 of the Unwrapping Christmas movies in 2024 and Campfire Christmas in 2022. Some of his other work includes 2 episodes of Virgin River between 2020 and 2024, the series Sight Unsees, 8 episodes between 2024 and 2025, and 1 episode of the series Arrow in 2017.
Wow.
Michelle Rosello plays Luciana. They called her Lucy.
Lucy.
She's a Peruvian actress, which you will find there were several Peruvian actresses. This is her Hallmark debut and only her 4th acting credit.
And
she was
did
cute
really
in it.
well.
Yeah, she did. She was in 16 episodes of the TV series Super Ada.
Ooh.
Ooh. You said, ooh.
All right.
Christopher Vieira plays Dan. This is Christopher's Hallmark debut. Some of his other work includes Dark Side of the Ring. He was in 1 episode in 2023, Hotel Paranormal, 1 episode in 2020, and Mangoes, 4 episodes in 2018.
Okay.
Lucia Carvido plays Maria, which would be Lucy's mom, right?
Yes.
She is also a Peruvian actress, and this is her Hallmark premiere. She has 5 acting gigs to her name, including this one, and 2 of which are shorts.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of firsts.
Fernando Farfan plays Louis. Louis?
Louis.
Louis? He's a Peruvian actor. This is not only his Hallmark premiere, but also his acting premiere.
Oh.
He did do a voice on Corporate Prey in 2019.
Okay.
Valentina Saba plays Flores. This is her Hallmark premiere. She, too, is a Peruvian actress, I believe. She has 2 other credits, including 83 episodes on Nina de Azucar between 2024 and 2025, and that translates to Sugar Baby.
Oh, okay.
Just so you know.
Sugar Baby.
Which was intriguing to me, so I looked up the description of the, had the description translated of that show. It's the life of a young pastry chef, Nina, who is struggling to preserve her family business. It takes an unexpected turn when she meets a successful soccer player.
Oh, wow.
I just thought that was kind of cool.
That is cool.
There you go.
And here we go. Time to drop the synopsis.
Here we go, indeed.
Yes.
Katie, Rhiannon Fish, agrees to join her brother Dan and his girlfriend Luciana on a trip to Peru. Dan plans to propose to Luciana in a grand way at Machu Picchu at the end of the week and needs Katie's Spanish-speaking skills to ask Luciana's Peruvian father for his blessing. However, when Luciana's friend, Chef Carlos, played by Alec Santos, arrives, he accidentally ruins each proposal attempt. Refusing to give up, Katie does everything in her power to make this proposal happen until Dan calls it off. Katie must lean into Chef Carlos's spontaneity to not only save the day and the proposal, and Carlos may just win Katie's heart too. And this, I know, that's a pretty long one. Sometimes we have brief, and that's a pretty long one.
Lately, we've had one sentence synopsis.
That was on IMDb. Now, this was primarily filmed in Peru, especially in Machu Picchu, the Sacred Valley region, and Cusco.
Cusco. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Man.
Shall we get into it?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
So, what was your first take on this?
My first impression, first take. I actually, we've seen Rhiannon Fish in the Signed, Sealed, Delivered movie To the Moon and Back. We haven't watched all of them yet. We're going through them, so we haven't seen the other 2. So I'm not sure how big or small of a role she has in the other ones.
Right.
And we, enjoyed her in that. I thought she really shined in this.
Yes, she did.
I loved her. I actually really liked Alec Santos in it as well. I thought they had really great chemistry, the 2 of them. I thought they were adorable together. And she is just so stinking cute. I couldn't stand it throughout the movie.
Know.
I wasn't real sure about the flow of the story. I had sort of, qualms about it. We do watch it twice. I know we talk about this. We watched it once and I was kind of like, I don't know. Like, I loved them. And I actually love the actor and actress who played Dan and Lucy.
Yes.
But there were parts that I thought were maybe too kiddish, too over the top. I just wasn't sure it came together like it should have.
Okay.
So I don't know. I love the location.
Yeah.
I thought it was beautiful. Yeah. And I have another thought, but I'll save it for my jeer for later. But I enjoyed it. I just, there just something wasn't there for me.
Okay.
In it. What about you?
Well, I want to go to Peru.
Oh, okay. I hear you.
Well, I'm a big fan of Ancient Aliens, and
yes,
they're always shooting in Peru.
Are they really?
Yes.
Okay,
they're always about the ruins and everything.
Okay, that's interesting. So Machu Picchu is.
Yes.
Have you heard of that before the movie?
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't. You never told me that, and we didn't talk about it till just now.
You never watched Ancient Aliens with me. You don't
true.
Like it, so
I know.
And whenever I talk about it, you have this glazed look over your eyes, and it's like, okay.
Now wait a minute. It's not that I'm not like necessarily a believer.
Right.
It's just that. I'm just not. That's just not my jam.
I'm not. There's aliens out there. I just like listening to Giorgio Suguro talk about the history and what he thinks.
I know.
It's pretty good. But, the history, the culture, and of course the ruins I loved, right?
Right.
I also loved the terrain. Isn't it cool how they seem to always use every bit of the hillside.
Yes.
That for like growing stuff. I think that's really cool.
No waste of land. And,
yes.
Right.
Every inch of it to grow things. And I really thought that, Katie, the character, and Carlos, I thought they really bonded well together. I thought they played off of each other really well.
I agree.
So, yeah, I enjoyed the movie.
I mean, I agree. Well, I enjoyed it.
Okay.
I didn't even think about the ancient aliens aspect of it for you and Peru and all that. That's pretty cool. No, I mean, I thought the shots were great. I thought it was, beautiful.
Yeah.
Cinematography
was awesome.
I thought, I loved, well, we'll get into it in a little bit, but let's go into favorite scenes.
Okay.
And then, because I was going to go into some things. I mean, I enjoyed it, but there was just something missing for me in it. Okay. Just,
Well, maybe we could weed it out as we go through this. Maybe there was something we might
together.
be able to find.
Yeah. I think yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, you got a favorite scene?
I have a few. I actually do have a few.
Okay.
One would have been when they're at the family party and they're at Lucy's family's party and they're dancing like in the courtyard and stuff, and the music kind of slows down and she sees Carlos and he's kind of dancing. It was just a cool, because the music is playing and then they slow it down and everything's in kind of slow-mo and he's kind of, signaling for her to come and dance with him. And then all of a sudden Lucy's mom bolts in and dances with him instead. Yeah, Maria. So I thought that scene was really cute. I liked how the music slowed down. I liked the slow-mo of it all. And I liked them looking at each other. And it was like, okay, I'm going to come. And then someone else butts in there. And it's like, oh, she kind of walked away. But then he went over and grabbed her. So I liked that scene a lot.
And after the dance, she acted like a little schoolgirl.
Yeah, she was all excited. And
that was a good one.
What about you?
When Katie was trying to put the 360 camera and the tripod together the first time.
Yes.
I thought that was so funny because
she's like, I got this.
And she's so like literal and she's so analytical. She's trying to step through it step by step and what's next. And Carlos is kind of like, huh, what's going on?
What are you doing? She hands him the barf bag. Wasn't that what she handed? She's like, take this.
So that was what I see.
Another one was when the ring falls into the chocolate. And then they put the chocolate containers in the fridge and then she tries to stay to get the ring and she's just standing there and Carlos is like, is there a reason you're staying here? And she's like, no, I'll leave, because she's dying to, find the ring. I thought that was really cute.
Yeah.
And the making of the chocolate I thought was really cute.
And then when they come back and they open the refrigerator, there's like all of these bowls of chocolate in there now. And they're
more than what they had put in there.
And they're
so
like,
you don't
oh my God, what do we do?
And they all look alike.
And then Carlos is like, why don't we just take them all? And so the next scene is they're running with all these bowls of chocolate in their arms. Yeah, I had that down too. How about when Dan meets Lucy's family for the first time in the restaurant? And they walk in, and then it's like everybody in the restaurant stands up. And he's got to meet every last one of them. That's so
that's
cool.
when Katie's like, he doesn't like to hug people. And they're all like big huggers.
Huggers. Yes, I thought that was funny. That's cool having a big family like that. And
Katie had a lot of good like one-liners.
Yes.
But she's like, you have to try not to listen to those little voices.
Yes.
She was just so cute. And when she, is delivering them where she's like, oh, that's oatmeal's boring cousin, and I just thought it was, she did, there were a lot of, I don't know.
Yeah, there was a lot of good.
She delivered them really well. Like she was saying something, she's like, oh, I'm oversharing, aren't I? Like it was like one long continuous, sentence.
Yeah.
And when she's trying to get Dan genned up, and what does she say? You're getting on that knee, even if it means you never bend it again. Yeah. She's trying to, build him up. And so she delivered a lot of those lines. I felt like pretty flawlessly. She was just super cute in this.
And she gave a couple of shout outs. She called Dan, Lieutenant Dan.
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
I thought that was cute.
She did.
And there was another one. I
think that's when she said, Lieutenant Dan.
Lieutenant Dan, when he's freaking out about, the one proposal and everything.
Yeah.
But I also liked when she was going through the town taking pictures, and there was one scene and there's music playing and she's got kind of going from scene to scene, and she puts the camera down and she puts it on a delay and she runs and she gets down on one knee like she's proposing, and the picture takes, and you're like, oh my God, this is fun.
It's cute.
What is she doing?
Well, that was kind of what I had as favorite scenes. Is I really love the street markets that they went to, the cobblestone streets.
Yes.
So that kind of was throughout the whole movie.
Yes.
I guess. So I just felt like maybe it wasn't that there, I guess where they were was kind of more remote. So there weren't a lot of people, but it was just a weird dichotomy to me. Like they were in this new country and there's supposed to be all these people, but there aren't all these people. And, most of the scenes were just the four of them or the two of them or wherever they went, like the alpaca farm. It was Lucy's, was that her cousin?
Yeah,
right.
Cousin,
So there's her, but there weren't a lot of people. I thought the sound was a little weird.
Really?
I don't know.
I didn't notice that.
So I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but yeah.
Well, do you have any more favorite scenes?
The market I talked about. I did. It was a little quirky, and I don't know that it necessarily worked throughout the film, but the fact that they were, at every turn, Dan had a problem, right? He had a mishap. He started to propose, and then behind him another guy's proposing. So all the focus is there. So he doesn't propose. He, like you said, he meets the entire family of Lucy at once. And then he gets hung over from the family party, right? And he can't, and then he wants to propose, and they're trying to find these locations. On the way to Rainbow Mountain they stop at the alpaca farm and he gets an allergic reaction to the pond. So they had all these like sort of silly mishaps that were fun. I just don't know that they all came together or weren't too sort of kiddish a little bit for me,
I think they were just trying to build it up so that in the end, they would actually go back to where they started, and that's where the proposal would be.
Right. Well, maybe.
I don't know.
Well, which is how it ended up. Maybe you're right. Maybe it was like a full circle. Like they started there, and then, that's true. I didn't think about that.
Of milk?
And they tried to find all these other. Do you know me? Hello. No.
I might like take a little sip, but
no.
He took a shot.
That alpaca
down that,
and they're like. Oh. That's what Katie's like. She's like, the poncho we didn't know about, but the milk,
yes,
he should have known better. Yeah, that was kind of cute.
That was funny. How about when Dan and Carlos do the Macarena? That was funny. They break down and do the Macarena. Come on. Yes. They threw that in there. Like, why would you throw that in there?
I don't know.
But it was funny, and it kind of worked.
Yeah, it kind of worked. I liked the movie night that they had where they have this really super, Katie and Carlos have, it's just the two of them. Again, no one else is around, it's just the two of them. And, and, I did like sort of the references of, Katie's very plan. If you don't, what is it? If you don't
plan...
If you fail to plan, you plan to fail, or something like that,
Yes,
which actually I heard today.
Oh, did
someone said it at work today? Which I
wonder
thought
if they
was really
watched
wild.
the movie.
Yeah, I was like, okay,
they watched the movie.
But and I liked the idea of her. She's very structured. It's kind of like me. Like I don't go with the flow very well. Yeah. Sometimes I do, but I like a schedule.
Me too.
I like things to go a certain way, and and I know. Especially the kids are like, come on, I've gotten a little better since I've gotten older, but I still need to work on it. But I did like that. And she wasn't like totally uptight. She just liked to schedule. Whereas Carlos was more laid back. Right. And he's a chef. And he even talks about, when you're a chef, you can experiment, you can try different things. It's not so structured. Whereas if you're a baker, it's exact. It's more of an exact science. Well, not more of it is an exact science. You have to measure things out. And that's why he liked being a chef. So I sort of like the yin and the yang of that.
Yeah.
Between the two of them, I thought that worked really well.
Yeah. So did I.
Yeah.
So, any more? Or you want to move on to the cheers?
We can move on to the cheers. Let's do it.
Okay. So, my first cheer was the twin talk.
Yes, I have that as a cheer, actually. I thought that was really cute.
That was cute. Twin talk. And you know what I kept thinking about was the cartoon. Wonder
Wonder
Twin
Powers activate. Yeah, now
That's
we're
what I
dating
get.
ourselves. Yeah.
What about you?
Wonder Twin Powers. I had that because they put their fist over their heart, and that's when they could be
Yeah.
the most honest, or they're supposed to be.
They're supposed
tell
to be,
it like
yeah.
it is in that moment. I had the twin talk. We talked about the chemistry between Katie and Carlos. I thought that'd be it. That's a cheer for me. The culture, just the scenes of the culture, what they were trying to get across with the movie. Right. Like at the alpaca farm, they had the textiles, like the weaving.
Yeah.
I thought
that was pretty cool.
I thought that was cool. The salt mines.
Yes.
Just to see, from us watching that, and I've never been to Peru, obviously, but just to see that, it's cool. Now, I don't know if I would do that.
Right.
But I liked it. I enjoyed that. And I wonder how much of a part of the Peruvian culture that is, because they did show it. The empanadas, the 200-year-old, so there were these things that I thought were really cool that they were trying to show the culture of. So I thought that those were big cheers for me. What about you? Any other cheers?
Yeah, I also like the alpaca farm because it kind of reminded me of Ireland and the sheep farmers, how they let them roam up on the side of the hill. Yeah. And, I kind of looked it up. And did you know there are over 86,000 alpaca farms in Peru?
No. I didn't even know they were.
Right?
Yeah.
But I wanted to look it up.
That's
and they average about 60 to 90 alpacas per farm. That's crazy,
cool.
right?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. No, I did not know that. That's a little trivia. Yeah.
Yes. And talk about the salt mines. I thought that was pretty cool because they I can't remember what they actually do. So they manually extract the salt in I think it's called maras, MARAS. They channel the salt water slowly to the shallow terraces where it evaporates, which leaves the salt crystals, and that's when they collect them. Yeah. I mean, so they go down and they keep going down.
I thought that was pretty good. Yeah. And they showed them with like a little, it's probably not called a rake, but whatever they were using.
Yeah.
Like
it was pretty cool.
The backhoe, or not backhoe.
Yeah.
That's a big machine.
Whatever
Never
it's
mind.
called. I didn't look that up, but
The hoe that they were using. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool. And then that led into cooking in the ground. And we've seen that before on some of the cooking where by the rocks, basically the heat of the rocks. And then you they threw the meat in there and the vegetables, and then they put leaves around. I was like, okay.
The herbs and stuff like that.
And then the bugs in the cactus, that was a delicacy, or that was what'd she say, the special ingredient that she found that she was under the ruse that they were trying to find this special ingredient for him, and even though she was trying to distract him from the proposal and look at these other places for the proposal sites, but okay, I'm not eating a bug.
Me either.
I'm drawing the line. Do not take me to Peru and find that cactus and cut it open and expect me to eat a bug. Nope. Not happening. Just so we're clear.
Nope.
Perfectly fine for them if that's what they want to do.
Yeah.
I know it's a delicacy in some parts of the world, but I'm not.
I'm with you there.
Ooh, no, thank you. No.
So.
No, thank you.
You got any more cheers?
No, I think we can probably go on to jeers if we want to. Unless you had any more.
No, I don't have any more. I thought those were, that's all I had for my cheers.
That's all you had for your cheers?
Yeah, that's all I had for my cheers. But I do have a jeer.
What's your jeer?
So this movie was all about the food, right? Going to Peru, trying to find, other than the love story.
Right. Yeah, kind of.
And they were going from...
Not really. I mean, it was about the proposal.
Well, right. And... But
I'm here to counter every word you say. Just kidding.
Obviously. But my only issue is I wish Carlos would have cooked something. For Katie or Dan or all of them, because they kept referring to him as a chef. And I'm like... Yeah,
he's opening a restaurant. Right.
And is it Chicago or Michigan somewhere?
Chicago.
And I just wish he would have cooked something.
Interesting. Yeah. But he was there, I guess maybe the idea was he was there to...
Well, he said he goes to find these flavors that he might be able to bring back to his restaurant. So I was just kind of hoping
I see what you're saying.
He would just throw something together and, but they didn't. But that's okay. I mean, that was my only jeer. What about you?
That was your only jeer?
Yeah.
Well, No, I don't have that many. We kind of talked about it. I'll talk about the scenes first. There was a scene with Dan and Katie. It's after the family night, right? They're outside, they're dancing, that whole thing, and they have that big party. And her and Dan and Katie, they're like in a courtyard or something. It's when he drops the ring.
Right.
And she picks it up, right?
Yep.
It looked like it had poured.
Yeah, it did.
The ground was all wet.
Yeah.
And they were outside the whole time.
Yes.
Now, I'm sure they were on a shooting schedule, and I'm sure the rain was inconvenient, but I was like, what?
Or maybe they went inside
Maybe they went
eat,
inside during the storm.
and then they came back out.
And it wasn't raining. I don't know. That was just a little bit of a, you know. And then, we kind of talked to, I can't put my finger on it. There was just sort of a slight miss in this movie for me. And I don't know if it was because there were very few, actors. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing, but I just felt like it was missing something. And I don't have the expertise to know what it is.
Right.
But I just felt like it was missing something. Like I said earlier, I thought, Rhiannon, I thought she was great as Katie. I thought Alec was great as Carlos. Even Lucy, or Michelle Rosello, who played Lucy.
Right.
She was good. Dan.
They were all good.
They were all good.
There was nothing wrong with the acting.
There was just some sort of miss for me.
Yeah.
And, I hate to see it. Yeah, like I said, they were all good. And Dan, the actor who plays Dan, Christopher Vieira, does he not look like a young Mr. Big from Sex and the City, Chris Knopf?
Yeah, I guess he does.
He looks, that's what he reminded me of. I was like, this is him when he was
some of those facial
20 or 30 years old.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So, and then the other jeer that I would have would be, I felt like it wasn't so much about Machu Picchu. Like they started there and then they left, and it was really about Peru and discovering, like we talked about earlier, the culture and the different things in Peru and probably places that people will go. I don't want to say touristy wise, but, to see the real part of the culture. But I felt like, and then at the end, it comes back around to Machu Picchu, which ends up being cool. But I just felt like to name it A Machu Picchu Proposal, I don't know. I just felt like I wanted more of that. I thought we'd get more of an explanation. I felt like Machu Picchu wasn't even in it, but like 2 seconds in the movie. It was at the beginning and then he gets sick. He has the altitude sickness. Dan does.
That's funny too.
And then, I don't know, I just thought it would be more of a character, so to speak. I didn't expect it to be,
Right. I understand
so
what you're saying.
That's sort of, that would be my jeer. And that's not really terrible. It's just, I don't know. Maybe that's just where the miss was for me. I'm not sure.
Well, that's okay.
I don't know.
It's all good.
But like I said, I thought she was adorable. I thought, Alec Santos as Carlos, he was so charming, and them together really worked, the chemistry. Maybe they just need to do another movie together.
Yeah. And
I'd be cool with that. And she was just as cute as she could be in it. I loved her in it. Yeah. Just her actions and her one-liners and
the facial expressions and the giddiness.
Yeah. Did you have any other jeers or?
No, that was it. I just feel like, because of their ruins, and it's almost like being in a maze, right? So you don't really have a lot of room for a whole bunch of people, especially if you're trying to get that shot. So I can imagine it was
that's
probably
true.
difficult to shoot in and out of those streets or those breaks. But I enjoyed it.
Yeah. So what would you, out of 5 corks, how many corks would you give this one?
I would give it a 4.
You'd give it a 4.
Yeah, I'm a 4 guy.
You're a 4 guy today.
That's right. I'm 4 of the movie.
First 4 you. Okay, I was like, we haven't done any other podcast today, so
4 of the movie. What about you?
I would give it a 3.5.
Okay.
A 3.5.
3.5.
That's what it would be for me.
You heard it here, folks. At 3.5.
Right.
The acting was great. The story just.
It was just something missing. Yeah, something missing. I think it was just sort of a missed opportunity. The story was decent. It was there. I just felt like maybe it didn't come together like it should have. But
that's fine.
It's just my opinion. So I
have you know what? We all have opinions. You see it the way you see it.
Yeah. So that's the final Passport to Love movie. How would you rank them? So we have To Barcelona with Love.
Yes.
To Barcelona Forever.
Yes.
Villa Amore.
Okay.
And A Machu Picchu Proposal. So what are your rankings, sir?
So I love both the Barcelona movies.
Me too.
You know, I got to kind of put them together like they were
As
a tie.
one, yeah.
Because, oh man, they were just good. And the Villa Amore, it had my issue with Villa Amore was the editing didn't seem to flow between the cuts, between the scenes.
Right. You talked about that. But.
And I believe I rated that a 4 too. So I'm going to have to, I think I kind of like this one more because it was more upbeat,
That's
funny
interesting.
to me.
Yes.
So I would place that next, and then coming in last would be the Villa Amore.
Oh.
You know. But, you know, I love the acting in each one of them was spot on.
Yes.
Nothing wrong with the acting.
We liked all the actors. We didn't feel like anybody fell short or, you know, we weren't like, I
was trying too hard. No, it just all looked natural.
We didn't.
And,
on all of them.
Yeah. So what about you? How would you rank them?
It's tough because I'm like you. The 2 Barcelona movies are my top.
Yes.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. And like I said, you know, I really enjoyed Villa Amore, and I really enjoyed this one. There's just something, you know, so I would have to do, it'd probably be in order, honestly. It would be To Barcelona with Love would be my number 1. My number 2, well, no, like you said, they have to be equal.
Yes.
Because they were different stories and they different. Yeah, I'd probably put both of those at the top as number 1. And then it would be Villa Amore. And probably just below that would be, and it's not far behind.
Right.
But it would be A Machu Picchu Proposal.
Okay.
And that wraps up Passport to Love. Whew. How about it?
Clap, 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 clap.
We need to get a little clapping track right there, don't we?
That would be kind of cool, wouldn't it?
That would be kind of cool.
So what are we going to move on to next?
What are we going to move on to? Well, it's July, and you know what that means. It's Christmas in July.
Ho,
Can we put up our tree?
Ho. Oh, my goodness.
Is that a no?
Which one? We'd have to pick one.
Yes, we have several that we put up now. So we're going to be reviewing the Unwrapping Christmas movies that are going to be airing in July on the Hallmark Channel. They were on Hallmark Plus last year in, I believe, November of 2024.
Right.
And we're also going to be reviewing Holidays, the series that was on Hallmark Plus last year. That will also be airing on the Unwrapping Christmas movies are on Saturday nights on the Hallmark Channel, and Holidays, they're going to show 2 episodes every Sunday.
Woo! We got a lot of work ahead of us.
We may sprinkle in some extra surprises throughout the month.
Yeah.
But we're super excited to do our very first Christmas in July on the pod.
I can't wait.
Yay! We're very excited.
All right. So is that a wrap?
That is a wrap.
All right.
I believe.
Okay. Well, thanks for tuning in. Be sure to follow the podcast wherever you listen so you don't miss one. Also, check us out on social media or send us an email to pourthewine@gmail.com. We'd really love to hear from you.
We really would. Drop us a line. You can comment or send us a message on socials.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear from you. Love to hear your thoughts about Passport to Love. Are you excited about Christmas in July?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about all things rom-com? We are here for it.
We're here for it. We're here for it.
We do drop new episodes every Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Tuesdays are Tinsel Tuesdays around here, and we unwrap all things Hallmark Christmas all year round.
Yay.
And on Wednesdays, we drop our fresh reviews of the latest Hallmark movies and series.
Yes, we do.
Until then, fill up your glasses and push play. Thanks for listening.
Cheers.